I'm excited to have with me today as my guest, Rob Willey, who is an accomplished writer, director, and producer of the award-winning Canadian film shot in BC called River Road. Rob is here to talk about the film and his many roles as well, and what is next for him.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rob.
Thanks for having me, Christine. Thanks.
Yeah, so are you a musician as well?
Yeah, definitely. Started off as a musician, playing guitar pretty young, around 7. My mom is a piano teacher, so it's just kind of part of the deal. And then, I did the rock band thing for a while, and that's how I started filmmaking, was doing music videos for my bands, and kind of went from there, gradually progressed to doing feature films, and then here we are today.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Oh,
And it's you received 7 Lee Award nominations and also awards for Best Supporting Actor and Musical Score.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. It was exciting just because, we're kind of a low budget guerrilla production, and just to get kind of the recognition from the BC, film industry was great because, again, awards, you never really know. It's, kind of a strange thing, but no, it did feel good just because we felt like an underdog, and then to get nominated for Best Picture and everything was really great. And then Steven won for his role, which is well earned, I think. So, and you interviewed Steven before. You're talking about, did you like him in the role of Fresno in the movie?
Yes, I mean, he is a very deep actor, like very in the film River Road. I mean, he's right into character and so unbelievable, unbelievable the way he comes across, with holding the gun. He holds it at a certain angle. I mean, I just love watching your film, and it's 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 a love story, and it's about drama, has all that, but Rob, tell us what was the inspiration behind it, because there's a music theme in there too, musician.
Yeah, I originally wrote it for an actor friend of mine, and we'd done a music video together, kind of a little bit of the elements incorporated, a little bit of the Bonnie and Clyde, the wild relationship, and they were robbing someone and then they were getting in fights. So that was kind of the seed of it, kind of do that kind of vibe, that crazy romance on the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing, kind of like a little bit of the movie True Romance, if you remember, kind of that thriller vibe. And then once you start thinking of that, then you kind of think of the different milestones, and you're like, oh, how would they get into heroin? And you kind of like develop it from there, and just trying to be entertaining. And then also, I do come from music, so I do have enough experience of that party culture and self-destruction around me to kind of have my toe in there and kind of fairly informed, but never to the extent in the movie. None of my friends were really into heroin, and more into other drugs. But so it's kind of a little bit of cinematic qualities, and also real life as well in there.
Yes, and I mean, can you tell us like the process behind it? Like, how long did it take to shoot? And there's a drone in there, like you used a drone, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the first original shoot we shot right before COVID, and I think we did about 15 days straight, no break, because we were trying to get the weather. It started raining a lot, so we filmed a lot of it. Then we did come back and do a lot of the action sequences, like the drone shots and everything like that. And especially that big long sequence at the end, we kind of came back a few times to get the car chase stuff and all that, because the first principal photography, you more just kind of want to wrap the lead actors and get all that stuff done. Then the motorcycle chase scene was done with a stunt driver, my good friend Michael, and then the drone shots, so yeah, we kind of patched it together with a few different shoots, but the original shoot was like 2 weeks straight. So
2 weeks.
Yeah, which is really short in when it comes to movies, but for us, low budget, just trying to get it done.
Well, it's, for people, I talked a little bit about the film, but for those who have never seen it, what do you want people to take away from it rather?
It's hard to say exactly what, but it's more like just what I want to see in a film, which is, get swept up in the story and the characters and just kind of get involved and hopefully on a bit of the edge of your seat in a thrilling kind of experience. And then there is depth to it as well. But, they talk about the 3 E's. They talk about, entertainment, enlightenment, and education. But entertainment's number one. It's got to be entertaining. And then there's a little bit, if people have a little bit of a cathartic, emotional experience as well, that's great. If they kind of learn a little bit about, some addiction stuff, that's great. But at the end of the day, hopefully they just like the characters and the adventure and get caught up in it and care about it, care about the characters. That's the main thing, really. It's care about the characters, and hopefully we take you on a thrilling ride that gets dark. It does get dark, but hopefully it entertains,
Yes, I mean, because it's like it's interwoven with love. There's drama, as I said, and it's like, so it's not so dark, if I may say. It's and what has the feedback been like so far, Rob?
It's been really great, getting some good reviews. People seem to really like it. I think they really like, again, you're based in Vancouver, but we've been talking to a lot of podcasters based in the States and in England. So maybe it's a little bit different for you to see because it's Vancouver, but I think people like the detail of it, because how often do you get movies, especially of this kind of genre, that take place in Vancouver as Vancouver, right? They're always trying to pretend to be Seattle or Portland. So maybe like for you, did you notice the little like landmarks and the little shots and everything? Was that interesting to have a Vancouver story,
Yes, shot in Delta, right? Like it's really cool. And the cabin, just the whole, it has that nice flavor, if you will. And, I want to congratulate. It was released on Apple TV, right? Just recently?
Yeah, it just released last week on Apple TV. And today it's actually out on Google Play and YouTube Movies. You could rent it on there as well.
Yes. And so tell us, like, did you, the script, did you allow like the actors to be involved with the script, or did you follow it, or did you ad lib? Like how did it work?
Well, I mean, we definitely followed the script. It's not about allowing actors or disallowing, but it definitely, as maybe you noticed, we were trying to go for a lot of realism in the dialogue. So it's not as like exacting with, the wording, because we want people to speak naturally. So, as long as they got it kind of close, but it flowed right and it felt right for some of it. Near the end, when you kind of get into the more thriller elements or the third act, sometimes it does need to be more exacting because it's, to get the story right. But yeah, we tried to keep it pretty natural. And then Steven was doing some improvisation that we put in there, which was really funny. Even the 2 leads, we worked with as well. To be honest, it depends on the scene, and it even depends on the line. Sometimes you're like, no, this line needs to be exactly the way it's written. Or sometimes you're like, you know what, let's throw away the line and do something else. So it totally depends. There's no real formula, but I mean, the script was finished and ready to go. Like we were ready to shoot. So it was, the script is probably 90% there, I would say, in the film, and 10% kind of improvisations and fooling around with it.
Yes. And, with like the actors, how did you find the actors? How, like Stephen Roberts, right? But Cody Kearsley.
Kearsley, yeah. It's kind of just from being in the film industry. I was working on commercials in Vancouver and I worked as a second camera assistant on something shooting in Victoria, where I am right now. With Cody was one of the lead actors. It was called Spiral, just a web series. So I met him there about a year before, and we stayed in touch a little bit. And I just, we were just kind of talking to one of my producers in Vancouver as well. So we're just talking to everyone who knows actors. What actors do we know? Get them to read, get them to audition. And sometimes you get lucky. I sent a message to Cody and he was ready to go and really liked the project. And then Stephen Roberts was a friend of a friend, brought him in. So it's just kind of there's no real formula for casting either. You just kind of reach out and see who responds. But luckily the actors really want to as you know, maybe in Vancouver, a lot of people are doing CW shows or Hallmark shows to make a living, but they really seem to respond to the more gritty material, the R-rated material that, you know, River Road was kind of providing in the little script notes that they saw.
I like the title, River Road.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Came about, well, the first actor I had, first actor Cam, who was going to do the movie initially, instead of a cabin location, we were actually going to shoot a houseboat. And one day he sent me the address so we could scout it, and it was like blah 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 River Road, and I was like, there it is, there's the title right there.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And you know, so tell us about you know, highlights. What were some of the highlights?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of highlights. Just as far as like during the filming.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick one, but you know, there are definitely some moments. There's a couple moments with, maybe Vancouver people will relate. There's a couple moments that were accidental, and they're in the movie where we're on this beach. I forget the name of it, but it's right across from New Westminster. There's a beach there in Surrey Delta border. And there's a couple times in the movie where I'm just behind the characters, just filming them. The bridge is in the background, and then a sky train goes across the bridge at the exact perfect moment. It happened twice in the film. And that was when I was like, ooh, you know, that's kind of a special moment, because it was unplanned, but it kind of just makes it. It's just in the background going across. Anyways, that's kind of an artistic thing. And then there's some big scenes, like, you know, when we're robbing Fresno, there's some big scenes that were tough to shoot, and the fact that we got them all done and it turned out well, you know, that was pretty exciting days too, with when there's more actors involved. So there's some couple moments there.
Yes, and there's like a running scene I love, and then there's the fighting scene. But the running scene with Travis was I liked, I guess because I'm a runner. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you're running. Yeah. So that one's a classic. You know, that one's a classic. We're in the back of a minivan. I'm just sitting in the back with the camera, you know, facing up, and he's running towards. You know, we're ahead of him, and he's just running towards it. And then I tried to catch a little sunbeam. So I'm glad you like the running scenes.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. And you know, being a successful writer, director, and producer, is there one that you like more, or do they all work together? Like,
yeah, it's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of part of the package, I would say. Producing is more what you learn to be a good producer. Like on our first film, you know, let's be honest, we got our asses kicked a little bit because there's logistic problems, and you kind of learn to solve problems. You kind of learn to look out for that. So I'd say producing would be the one thing that's, I guess, maybe less enjoyable, more stressful, but it's kind of necessary. I just call it, it's kind of all part of the same package, because you kind of need to learn how to produce to be able to direct, and to be able to direct the material that you've written. So it kind of starts off writing, then you want to direct it so you can tell the story you want, the way you want to tell it, and then producing is when you actually facilitate it. So it's, yeah, it's kind of a package, but writing is probably actually quite pleasurable. That's probably, you look back and that's kind of the easiest, most pleasurable, less stressful part of the whole experience.
And also your music background, right? That helps, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I collaborated with a great composer, Michael Chambers, a young guy, and yeah, we got the music turned out really well. We're really happy with it. Kind of a synthesizer kind of score, a bit of throwback to the 80s vibe, and then a little bit of modern Trent Reznor kind of style as well. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And you know, for people who like to see the film, where can they go?
Yeah, so you can just go to riverroadmovie.com, and then it will have the link to Apple TV and Google Play and YouTube Movies, and we'll be coming out on Amazon very shortly as well. So yeah, definitely. Or if you have Apple TV, just search up River Road and have a go.
Yes. And Rob, what is next for you?
We are actually, me and Steven have been talking about possibly doing a Fresno spin-off movie and continuing down the Delta River Road world, expanding it, and getting a little bit more crazy with it. Hopefully, you know, bigger budget, bigger project, but we have started writing that. So that could be in the works. Hopefully you're on board with that. You said you wanted more.
Yes.
So we could be coming with more.
Yeah, thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think we're looking pretty good. I mean, I just hope people enjoy the movie. You know, always check out the trailer, see if you like it, give it a whirl. But yeah, I just hope people enjoy the film.
Yes, and the film's released by Tall Grass Films. So
yeah, it's our little production company we got here in BC.
Oh, that's wonderful. And people want to follow you, they go to you're all over.
You just go to River Road Movie at River Road Movie on Instagram. It'll link to my my personal Instagram, link to Cody Kearsley's Instagram. So that's kind of or Tallgrass Films. It's all kind of there. So at Tallgrass Films, at River Road Movie, and should be good to go. And you could follow, we'll be releasing a bunch of behind the scenes videos and some cool stuff. So yeah, check that out.
Stay tuned, right?
Stay tuned.